Randy White. Randy White is running for Lieutenant Governor in the February 2010 election. Randy has held several elected offices in the state of Illinois and has helped with 14 campaigns as church coordinator. Randy is not one of the numerous political machine candidates that are running, however. When you review the job description for Lieutenant Governor, no other candidate can come close to Randy's on-the-job experience. In each and every category, Randy has a minimum of 4 years and up to 46 years experience in agriculture-related fields. In rural affairs, Randy has 46 years of living, working, and experiencing everyday struggles in the rural life in Illinois, including serving on the county board, starting small businesses, mentoring fellow businessmen, and church leadership. In agriculture, each and every year of Randy's life, he worked 2 jobs in the spring and fall. Factory work and working the planting and harvest with farmers, sometimes 16 to 20 hours a day, tillage, delivering and applying fertilizer, planting corn, wheat, and beans with conventional planters and no-till. He's prepared equipment for harvest, driven trucks, tractors and grain carts, filled grain bins, calculated moisture content, and hauled grain to the elevators. Randy has lived and experienced the change from conventional plowing to no-till. He's built pole barns, hog confinements, fences, and machine sheds. On education, Randy has worked with local school districts ensuring the safety and quality of education for every child. From the basic task of school bus driving, the daily routine of picking up and delivering students, to Scholastic Bowl, Science Olympiads, WISE, and sporting events, to assisting schools in times of tragedy. 10 years with the Regional Office of Education, District 26 School Crisis Assistant Team, working with numerous schools as they work through students' and teachers' deaths. Randy will continue to work for safety, but will more importantly work to raise us from 48th in education to number 1 in education. On rivers and waterways, Randy is the only candidate that has actually worked on the rivers in the state, like the Mississippi, the Illinois, the Rock, and the Wabash rivers. The Coast Guard cutter Scioto is stationed on the Mississippi River across from Hamilton, Illinois. The Scioto's commission is to travel the Mississippi and Illinois rivers to set buoys and to check wing dams. In short, it is to ensure the steady flow of barges and private boats on the rivers. Randy is the only candidate that has spent a significant amount of time actually on board the Scioto, while setting buoys and helping to unstick barges on sandbars. Randy is the only candidate that has been asked to be at the ceremony for promoting and transferring captains of the ship, known as Transfer of Command. On senior services, healthcare, and emergency services, Randy has served 6 years on the Bi-State Home Healthcare Committee, 4 years on the committee overseeing Hancock County Shelter Care Senior Citizens Home, 4 years overseeing the emergency medical services of Hancock County, creating and turning over operations to the Hancock County EMS Board, bringing them from near bankruptcy and closing to full solvency, growing and operating in the black. 4 years overseeing the budget for Hancock County Police Department, State's Attorney, and Judicial Services. 5 years as police chaplain, riding with and working with officers daily to ensure citizen safety. First-hand knowledge, training, and experience of the emergency services, working through various police departments, receiving training in life support, CPR, disaster services, terrorism task force, and critical incident tactical response. 9 years on various local, state, national, and international critical incident emergencies. Randy has even been handpicked for disasters like 9/11, the California fires, India, Sri Lanka, and the debriefing of soldiers. On creation and retention of jobs. Realizing that Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the nation, Randy asked for and was appointed to the tax assessing position. Realizing that a majority of businesses fail due to overseas competition and overtaxation, that families cannot afford the taxes on their homes and $4 a gallon gas, Randy went through and paid for schooling to become a tax assessor so that he would gain the full understanding of how taxes were levied, assessed, and distributed. Randy is seeking out and planning a solution to high property taxes. There are currently 3 states with no real estate taxes, and they are thriving. Randy would like for Illinois to become a state with no real estate tax. Randy has earned the CIAO tax assessing designation, 13 years IAM Local 822 as a member, union steward, and safety committeeman. On energy, hydroelectric, wind, nuclear, renewable resources, and creating new sources. Randy is the only candidate that has actually been inside power generating plants on the Mississippi while assessment of needs and repair of generators was in progress. Randy has first-hand knowledge of how a generator is repaired, the length of time involved, and what each one's capacity is, how to enhance the efficiency of the generators, and where to strategically locate new generating plants. New generating plants will lower our dependency on foreign oil. More importantly, lowering the demand for fossil fuels and relying on renewable energy for electricity lowers home heating expenses and fuel demands for cars. Illinois state rivers can provide enough energy not only for the state, but for the surrounding states as well. Hancock County Board is currently working on the Enterprise Zone to help establish a wind farm that starts in Hancock County and reaches across to the east side of the state. Now 2 questions on what do you want. Number 1, do you want to elect a person for the position of Rural Affairs Lieutenant Governor that is yet another experienced political machine candidate with years of political experience but little or no rural affairs experience? Or do you want a man that has years of on-the-job experience? And number 2, do you want to have a candidate that has had no experience in the tax assessing field that will only raise your taxes to balance the budget? Or do you want one that has had experience and knows where and how to cut tax waste? Thank you for your time. We would appreciate your support to elect Pastor Randy White as our next Lieutenant Governor. Please pass this on to your family and friends through your personal computer. Committee to elect Randy White Lieutenant Governor. Paid for by Randy White for Lieutenant Governor. A copy of our report is available from the Illinois State Board of Elections, Springfield, Illinois. Political contributions or gifts are not tax deductible for federal income tax purposes.